I have 10 minutes to very quickly finish a chapter which really seems like it's about me, but it's probably definitely not. This is definitely something I concocted purely from imagination. He built his lovers in percentages, each a fraction of myriad, one part from here and one from there, slowly but surely satisfying the desires of an intellectual, an animal, an artist, a socialite, a recluse, an adventurer, and a man with a heart like a bag of broken glass. Piece by piece he satisfied his desires and theirs, and coloured that broken glass heart, heating it with sentiment in the hope that one day a feeling great enough, love, would melt all the shards back together, glowing in glorious liquid fire. He would enjoy the moments, all of them. He indulged in the outer echelons of love and obsession beyond the spiritual, the carnal, and the space in between. He would live that love fearlessly before his molten heart cooled and became brittle and breakable once more. Relationships have a habit of following the compass south. South to climates so cold that brown skin turns blue like blue turns amber at sunset before darkness. Pragmatism and fear, the tickets for that journey. He always thought like this when trying to stop himself taking that trip, a journey to the inevitability of another broken heart. James had written this passage between being lost and broken, but playing a role in a relationship he never truly signed up for. The second man, the third, maybe or even the fourth, and worst of all, the hidden one, the last lover. Lonely. His days were rampant chaos, converging like fluid lust and pain. Simultaneously vengeful and self-destructive, yet not lacking in a kind empathy. In between was only a pause before the relentless pursuit of distraction. The way he saw women had changed because of her. He didn't envisage the foresight to fear this kind of broken. It enveloped him slowly. The way he designed social situations was blurred and shattered like a kaleidoscope thrown across the room above the tears of a child in dream state. The person he was had been lost in the adventure of her. Her was a revelation of broken painted over, painted from the centre outwards, where the centre was so black it sucked in souls like a succubus. Catastrophic, cataclysmic, molecular, interstellar disruption formed the swirling core of feeling between his heart, his gut, and his mind. Every day like this since her. James felt it squirm like a bag of snakes inside, writhing with it in thought, dizzied by the way those thoughts emerged from the black deep below. The subconscious dream realm to the reality and angular nature of the conscious mind, a conscious mind of someone once partially, yet mostly pragmatic. Someone trying to control and curate the loss of control. Sand seeps through fingertips, sipping water from the grains. James pauses and thinks to himself. He had tried to write before. He wrote a lot when not making music, but when writing to Natasha, in the middle of the shifting sands of their demise, they shared feelings so openly. More so than when lost in the adventure. The journey of their love, exclusive, before. James had written this to her the previous week. I never felt this way about something I am writing. Everything feels different about it, and I feel like a samurai trained from birth, wielding the sharpest possible sword on an infinite battlefield. Her answer gave him power. It was an affirmation of respect, an understanding of the depths of which he had trawled after the heights he had flown with her. A mirror of her in reverse, created, curated, and calculated, omitting one factor overlooked. She had no idea what was coming, yet somehow he did. He thrived now on the fact that she would one day feel, somehow in the distant future, and he felt it would almost certainly be him who unravelled her. He had no idea how and when, he just knew he would. James knew with his writing, his mood, and where it would lead. He had hit a target not only in himself and in her, but he had written something that could slice through the cultural reality of an age and be understood by a spectrum as wide as light visible to an insect. One more joint and a shot. A dance so reckless it inspired the Greek gods to wake and take heed, and then bed, alone, in the place he was hiding the gestation of magnificence. Pen and the sword in tandem, and without even knowing it, the process had begun. James wrote to her a text. During this time where they never kissed, had stopped sleeping in the same bed, and touching her thigh, her hair, his hands, and the looks, they seemed exciting, but alien and forbidden. Their conversation and interaction were not that of old friends. It was muse and artist. Spirals of inspiration flowing in and out of each other as he once flowed in and out of her, in passion and power and sweat and purring dragons. I want you to know something, okay? Okay, she wrote. I also want you to know something. You first. I love you, and I always will. We will always be close friends, and I will always be here for you no matter what. No matter what happens in my life, commitments or distractions, I will navigate them to make sure you can be included, and that there is space for you in the realm of what I truly care for. I am here for you always. That's pretty much the something. That's the most beautiful something one could ask for, she wrote. After this back and forth, James felt peace, but deep down he knew something sinister was growing from a realm he had no control over. The melting mixture of dark and light sparked an unpredictable trajectory. Intended as a gesture of balance, it was more like the match that lit a fuse so long you couldn't see where it led. It flowed, hissing and sparking, over the curve of horizon, hugged by the gravity and brevity of Earth. James thought, pondered, drank, and wrote again. Do you have a match? I only have a tail of a dragonfly, the fire of which lights a soul cigarette. I think I need that one. Everyone says that, but when they feel the heat of it, they are overwhelmed. Because their soul is on fire? No, because their desire arrives shaped differently than expected. This is confusion, right? No, it is fear. And why do we fear our desires? Because we never thought about what was on the other side of achieving them. I see. Pass me the dragonfly. Are you sure? Yes. I don't care what is on the other side of achieving my desires. Light my soul on fire. It's time to make a nebula. So be it. Open your tongue. Your words will paint your present, reframe your past, and ignite your future. But what do I owe you for that? Nothing. You are part of my desire manifest. No more questions now. It's time to experience how and what it is to be alive. James woke the next morning, in his clothes, on his bed, with a pen in his hand and anxiety in his heart. That's that one done, isn't it? Right, my back's fucked. I look fat from side on. This has got to be done. I'm going to go to the tuck factory, or I could just stop drinking beer. That would make life much more interesting and less predictable.